Hey, Doc T here. I want to summarize what the no grain challenge is because it's not complicated. What we're trying to do overall are two things. First, we want to stop gut inflammation, and gut inflammation comes from two things. Most primarily, it is the outer shell of the seeds that we're putting into the horse's mouth that are creating inflammation in the gut. It's creating holes in what a lot of people call leaky gut. Now, there's not a lot of evidence for this, but in horses anyway, but there's more and more mounting evidence in humans that these proteins called lectins are causing inflammation in the horse's gut. In addition, the oils that most manufacturers put into making foods are polyunsaturated oils. They're oils made from seeds, most commonly soybean oil. And soybean oil, as well as corn oil, canola oil, and any of the other seed oils, are polyunsaturated. And there's mountains of evidence that it causes inflammation in humans. So why are we putting it into our horses? So that's the number one thing. We want to stop inflammation from occurring. Number two, we want to reduce the sugar that's getting into the system because the sugar is what makes insulin respond. And the more sugar we put into the horse's mouth, the more insulin they're going to make. And at some point, there's insulin resistance. And there's mounting evidence that shows us that when you start to see insulin resistance on blood tests in humans, that insulin resistance has actually been going on for a minimum of 10 years because they are now seeing the evidence in the muscle cells of humans long before any time the things change in the blood, in the lab tests. So let's make that same assumption that if your horse is storing body fat and is getting heavier with body fat, then your horse has high insulin levels. And whether insulin resistant or not yet is just a matter of time. So those are your two reasons why you want to stop feeding excess sugar. And grain is such a concentrated form of sugar and lectins that we just want to eliminate from the horse's body. There's no reason to give that. So step one, you're going to remove all grains, grain byproducts, which are the hulls outside of the wheat, of the rice, of the soybeans, of the everything. Just you want to get rid of it. Second, you want to make sure that they have adequate amounts of forage, whether it's pasture or hay, and the hay can be grass or legumes, but you don't want to feed that in excess. You're aiming for 1.5% of their body weight. So if they weigh 1,000 pounds, that's 15 pounds of forage a day. If they're 500 kilograms, that's 7.5 kilograms of hay per day. It's very simple. You can increase it or decrease it depending on the environment. If it's very cold out, you want to add some more. If it's very hot out, or if you have pasture, you want to eliminate the hay and let them have just pasture and limit the pasture time so they don't get too fat. If your horse is gaining weight, gaining fat, I should say, then you know that they're being fed excess glucose because that's what happens to glucose and sugar. Sugar will always go as body fat when it's in excess of their daily needs. All right. So also make sure that they have plenty of fresh water. That's where they get most of their minerals from. And make sure that they have a mined salt block, nothing that's made in a factory where glucose is added in the form of molasses and corn syrup. You just want straight mined salt from a salt mine. Himalayan is a great example. And you just feed that for 2 weeks. And then third, write everything down in a journal, date it, write down all your observations of your issues that you're having beforehand, and use film, use video, use images, whatever you have to do, but monitor that. And over 2 weeks time, 14 days, see what happens to your horse in behavior, in overall feeling, general feeling. Are they easier to brush, to groom, to girth, to ride? Are they a changed horse? So many people tell me in probably 7 to 10 to 14 days, they have a brand new horse. So that's it in a nutshell. I hope this video kind of puts that together. If you're tired of reading and just want to see me talk about this, because I'll talk about it all day. Thanks, Doc T here. I hope you enjoy this no grain challenge. If you don't like it, if it doesn't seem to work for you, it's no harm done. You can go back and do what you've been doing, but don't expect different results doing the same thing. This is going to help just about every horse that goes on it. So thanks for taking the time and watching this. Bye.